What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sierra. If you are new, welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. So guys, it's Vlogmas day 13 and I wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit, and as you can see by the title, we're going to be doing a little chit chat. Get ready with me. We're going to have some serious girl chat today. And it's funny because going into this video, I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, which was how to tap into your happy single girl era and how to really thrive and flourish while you're single during the holiday season, because I know that that can be hard. But while I was getting myself ready for this video, my mind was just racing like it always is. And I was just thinking about how just like the way that feminism has changed so much, and how, just to be really direct, how trashy has become the new way to be for a woman. I don't personally feel that way, but just seeing how a lot of girlies act nowadays, it's really just not cute. Just to keep it simple and straightforward, it's not cute. And I'm just wondering, how do we get to this point? I just feel like so many women just feel like being trashy and just being so out there and having no filter and just being so just exposed and not keeping things private. And I won't get into it too much right now, but that's just kind of where my mind was thinking. So we are still going to talk about being in your single girl era and how to thrive with that, but I also do want to talk to you guys about being more of a classy woman and just my own personal thoughts and opinions about what a woman is and what has happened to being a classy woman, because I just don't understand what happened. We're gonna get right into this video. Guys, feel free to watch this too, because my channel is not just for the girlies. Guys are always more than welcome to watch as well, and I feel like everybody can gain a lot from this video. So we're gonna get right into it. So again, make sure you are subscribed if you are not already, and let's get into the video. So first, I'm just gonna go in with the Refi brow tint, and this is in the shade Deep Brown. It's really just the quickest way for me to do my eyebrows on camera. So first, let's start with what I was just talking about, which is being a woman and what's happened to just being classy. I have had a lot of time to really sit and think about it. And from what I have seen, and I'm not bashing anybody, I swear, but this is just what I've seen. I just feel like once the city girls came out and it was like, oh, you know, city girls taking over, city girls up by however much, and you know, hot girl summer and all that stuff, I feel like that's when women and feminism just kind of took a bit of a shift, like heavily, especially in the African American community, which I hate to say, but again, these are just my personal observations. And I just feel like it's just gotten worse and worse over time. And then what really got me thinking about this too is just the way that music is today. I just feel like everybody's just a rapper now. No one wants to really sing anymore. Everybody just wants to rap. And when these girls be rapping, it's always just about the stuff that men be talking about, like sex and drugs. I just be missing how things used to be back in the day sometimes. And I know I'm saying back in the day like I'm super old, but I'm not. I'm 24. But times have definitely changed from when I was growing up. Everybody just thinks they're a rapper now. No one wants to put any true heart, soul, and meaning and purpose into their music. It's just about ass and titties, and it's just, there's just no class. And I'm trying to be careful what I say because I don't want to sound too judgmental, but I just can't help to think, well, what's happening? I just feel like because of the music and the type of content that is being streamed so much nowadays, I feel like that's what all of these women and even young girls too are looking up to and are aspiring to be. And it just throws me off because I don't know, maybe I was just raised differently from some people, and maybe I'm just a little bit more feminine than others, which is fine, but I just don't see the purpose in just being trashy and being out there. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for feminism and, you know, women taking a stand and being treated equally compared to men. I'm not opposed to that. What I am opposed to though is women taking the idea of feminism just to a whole new extreme and just putting all their business out there that doesn't need to be put out there. For example, women talking about their sex lives. Why is that something that women are just so open about? And having high body count and what you do in the bedroom, and oh, well, I like to do this and I suck like this and blah, 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 blah. I just feel like not everything needs to be shared. I'm a private person anyway, but I really believe in just keeping it classy, keeping it cute. Whatever you do in your downtime, that's your choice, that is your right. But feeling the need to share it and just be so vulgar about it, I don't fully agree with that. I'm sorry. And if that is you, I'm not judging. It just all goes back to my point of just what is happening to women and girls today. Why do women feel the need to sell boobs and their butt and talk about sex and all of these other things that dudes normally talk about in order to get attention, to get views, to get likes, to be famous? Why does it need to be that? And then again, talking about the content we're consuming. Everybody watches the show Baddies, myself included. This is probably one of the most popular shows in the world right now. I mean, everybody's tuned in, everybody's watching it. Even shows like Jocelyn's Cabaret, stuff like that, where fighting and just having no class is being promoted the way that it is. Why is it that women need to engage in these non-feminine behaviors to get attention? And I'm sorry if my thoughts are sounding all over the place. Like I said, I didn't initially plan on talking specifically about this, but I just thought to really just bring it up. We shouldn't have to be fighting and being raunchy and lacking class to get the things that we want, whatever those things are. And maybe I'm just old school and traditional, but I am going in the complete opposite direction. While everybody's just trying to be more out there, more vulgar, I'm trying to be more classy and think, how can I have more of a classy type of image? How can I just be a better woman and not fall into this trend? And it's not a good trend. There's nothing cute about having to show skin and sell sex to get attention. Personally, I love getting attention when I am being my best self, when I'm being classy, when I am fully covered up, don't have to try too much. I'm just being natural and just being myself. I feel like when you have to engage in activities like that and present yourself and carry yourself in that way, it just attracts the wrong kind of attention. And then y'all be getting mad talking about, oh, dudes ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. But just really think about what you're doing. You are what you attract. So if you're out here just having no class and just acting however, you're gonna attract a dude that's the same way. You can't be out here not respecting yourself and then expect to get a dude who's gonna respect you. And that's just the way it is. Again, no judgment. Get it how you live it. All I'm saying is this idea of having to have that sort of image versus being classy and being in your feminine era, it's just sad that women don't want to be feminine anymore. Just think about a lot of celebrities that you hear about, right? Just the things that they promote. And just think about all the people that just be preaching and repeating the things that they say. It's a lot. I get it, self-confidence and, you know, being strong, taking a stand and all that, but you shouldn't have to sexualize yourself to take a stand and to be respected. It doesn't give you the respect. Some people think it does, but it doesn't. I just feel like sometimes women just really need to work on their self-esteem, because to me that's what it sounds like. You have some sort of self-esteem issue and you feel like you need to just be so extra and go to these extremities to get attention, which isn't even good attention. And I just really want to stress that to you guys, and then I'm gonna move on. Sexualizing yourself will never get you good attention. It's gonna get you guys that are gonna view you as a sexual object. You're gonna attract men who view you as a toy, as someone who is just temporary, not wife material, not mother material. You're not gonna be that woman. And I'm not saying you should act a certain way for male attention. I'm just saying I feel like a lot of women feel the need to do that to get a man. And a lot of women feel the need to do this stuff to get attention. And that shouldn't be the case. Just be classy and be feminine is all that I'm saying. I feel like that's the right way to go. That's just me. All right, moving on. So sorry I haven't been naming all the products that I've been using, but this is the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush. Now let's talk about being happy in your single girl era. Again, this is for guys too, if any guys are watching. So obviously it is holiday season and it's the winter time and it's cold, and you know, everybody wants to have a significant other at this time. I wholeheartedly understand that because I have been there before, and it sucks not having someone to share your holidays with in a romantic aspect. You know, you're missing out on the holiday pictures, like the Christmas pictures with the matching pajamas, and spending Christmas morning together and just creating all of these memories. I get that 100%. But I'm gonna tell you how you can still be happy in your single girl era. So I remember before I got into this relationship, this was like the longest period of time I had been single probably in my whole life, aside from me being a kid. And it was hard. It was hard because I really had to sit with myself and my feelings. I didn't just have this next guy to just move on to and distract me from how I was feeling about the last person, and I was struggling and I hated being single. And I think it was just because I was so comfortable being in a relationship for so long that since I was finally single, I didn't really know how to act. I was just so frantic. I was just trying to find all these different hobbies. I got into skincare, adult coloring. I was just trying to find anything because I had no sense of self anymore. That's the point I'm making. I had no sense of self. I didn't know who I was as an individual because I didn't really have a whole lot going on for myself outside of him in that relationship at the time. Yes, I was in college. Yes, I was in a sorority, so I had those things. But it's like, okay, when it's summer break and no one's doing anything during summer break, what else do you have going on? And the answer to that is nothing. Then add the pandemic, right? So the pandemic shut everything down, and that's when my breakup happened. It was during the pandemic. So I was really struggling because I really had nothing to do with myself. And even when stuff did start opening up, I still didn't want to go outside and whatnot because the pandemic was still new and people were still trying to answer questions and figure out what this was and how it was spreading. I swear I thought being single was the worst thing ever. But it wasn't until over time when I realized that being single isn't so bad. I feel like being single, there's so many benefits to being single. When you're single, you don't have to consider anybody else's feelings. You can do what you want to do. It's the perfect time for you to take some time for yourself and learn about yourself. You have more time to spend with friends and family and create memories with them. Because I remember when my breakup first happened, and you know, I was just so devastated, but I remember somebody telling me, you don't want to look back on your 20s and just have only memories with this guy. You want to have memories with everybody before you officially start settling down and you actually find that right person, and then you may not have the opportunity to do those things much or even at all because you're going to be occupied and you're going to have other priorities. And I never viewed it like that, but it was so true. So I did try to start working on my social life and seeing my friends more, being with my family a little bit more. But one of the biggest things that I did, and I'll never forget, and this was like a while after the breakup, like it really took me some time to finally sit down somewhere and be like, okay, no, you do not need a man right now, like just stop because you're doing too much. I started taking myself out on dates. I feel like people, women more specifically, feel that they have to have a man in order to go on a date. No, you do not. Get cute for yourself, you know, get all dolled up, put on a cute outfit, get your hair done, get your nails done, do your makeup, whatever makes you feel good, and take yourself out. And it was then in that moment when I realized I was actually, for the first time in a long time, I was actually really content with my life being single. And I never thought that that would happen. I was one of those girls that just wanted to be loved so bad that I would just accept having a man however he was just so I could say that I had someone, because I didn't want to be alone. And that's not the way to live, because as long as you keep on distracting yourself from healing and not really working on you and healing whatever you needed to heal from your last relationship, all it's gonna do is just keep on suppressing and suppressing and suppressing all the stuff from the past. And that's why when I finally was single, it was so hard for me because I really had to address everything, not even stuff just from him, but from people prior to him too. It was so much stuff, and it was so exciting. Although it was hard, it was exciting because I really amped up my self-care journey, and I was learning a lot about myself. I learned that I stayed with him just because I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to be alone. I was so comfortable and used to having someone. I didn't want to be alone, and I feel like a lot of people don't want to be alone because they're scared of what it's going to do to them. They're scared of having to address their feelings. They're scared of having to address the sadness and the anger. But then it comes to a point where you have to ask yourself, would you rather sit up somewhere unhappy and sad and angry while you're in a relationship and continue to have that happen because things aren't going to get better, more than likely? Or would you rather get out of that relationship, be unhappy and sad for some time, work on yourself, heal, and then feel better? And I know it doesn't seem like it's gonna get better, but it does with time and what you do in that time. That's the key thing, is what you do in that time is what's gonna make the difference. Something else too, for my girlies that live by themselves, you guys have the opportunity to really hook up your space how you want. And I know that's such a random thing, but it's true. It all goes back to having to consider someone else's feelings. When you're single, you have no one else's feelings to consider but your own. You don't have to compromise with anybody. You don't have to be fair and be like, oh, well, he doesn't want this in the house, so you know, I have to respect that. No, especially when you're in your 20s. I mean, this is the time to just learn about yourself and just have fun and create experiences. And I know it's so easy for me to say this because now I'm in a relationship, but I promise you guys, I was really putting in the work. And I remember the lovely Viola Davis saying this too, because I remember I saw this in a TikTok that she said when an interviewer asked her, like, what's the key to having like a happy or healthy relationship or a marriage, something along those lines. And she talked about self-love, and self-love is so true, because it wasn't until I started loving on myself and doing the things for myself that I would have wanted a man to do for me. Once I started doing those things, that's when I attracted who I have now. Now I have someone who does those things for me and even more. Ladies, we have to stop centering men in our lives and making it seem like we need them in order to have that fulfillment in our lives and have that happiness in our lives, because we don't. We should be able to have other things going on in our lives to make us happy. And having a man should just be a bonus. It should be an addition to your life, not what makes your whole life. That's why it's so important to have hobbies. Find things to do that you like and love, whether it's writing, drawing, Pilates, or any other kind of sport, crafting, sewing. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do while you're single and make the best of it. I'm telling you, I know having someone is amazing. I'm not taking that away from anybody. Having someone to come home to and to love on you, it's a really nice feeling. But it can also be a really nice feeling to be in solitude. I love being in solitude, okay? Yes, I'm in a relationship and I love being up under my man, but I also enjoy my solitude. And it makes it so much easier now because I actually do have stuff going on for myself. I have my YouTube channel, I have my TikTok. I love makeup, I love shopping by myself. I learned how to have fun by myself. I would rather go shopping by myself than with my boyfriend, because this is like my me time, this is my peace, you know, this is just my time to just do me and do what I like to do while you go and work or do what you want to do. Having a sense of self and being an individual is so important, and I think it's important that you do that and discover those things in your downtime, in your single time, so you can still have those things whenever you do move on into a new relationship. Because I'm telling y'all, when you are in a relationship, if you don't have that sense of self already, it is hard to find it. I don't care what nobody says, it's so hard to find it. And as far as it being the holiday season, it's gonna be okay. Cuddle up with the teddy bear, you'll be all right. Because now that I'm older, I've learned that I would rather have no company than bad company. Because if you have bad company, what's the point? I don't want to sit up and be miserable with someone. I don't want to say that I have someone just to say that I have someone, but I'm unhappy with them. Like, what is the point of that? I know I'm gonna sound like such a broken record because I know influencers say this all the time, but being in your single girl era is probably one of the best things that could ever happen to you. I feel like everybody needs that. Everybody needs that time to be single. Good Lord. I'm telling you, just knowing how to be happy by yourself is so important. You should never need a man to feel happy. Never. Be happy on your own. Love on yourself. And when you start doing that, God gonna bless you with somebody. I'm telling you. And I really appreciated it because I don't know where I would be if I was still entertaining this other person. I don't know where I would be if I didn't really just sit down somewhere and just heal. I don't know where I would be. So I'm very grateful for my single girl era. So if you are single and you're watching this video, I would say to really just make the best of it. Think about all the things that I've talked about, that self-discovery, the healing, the dating yourself, the loving on yourself, the creating memories with friends and family, not having to consider anybody else's feelings, and really being able to just prioritize you, becoming the best version of yourself that you can be. The last thing I'm gonna say is this. While you're having that self-discovery time, if you are someone who's sitting up like, dang, like I wish I had a man, I really want a man, take this time to think about, why do you really need a man? Why do you need a man? Why do you need a man to feel fulfilled? What is this man potentially gonna do for you that you can't do for yourself? And just think, is it because you don't wanna be alone? Do you have daddy issues that you need to work through? Like, what is it? Why can you not be happy genuinely with just your own company? And I'll leave it there. So that is all for today's video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the chit chat. I had a lot of fun doing it. Comment down below and let me know if you want to see me do more videos like this, because trust me, I have a lot of stuff that I can share with y'all just about life and girl stuff and relationships and situationships and healing and all that fun stuff. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a huge thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you are not already. Click the bell so you receive notifications every time that I post, and make sure you're following me on Instagram and TikTok. Those usernames are in the description box down below, and I will see you guys in my next Vlogmas video. Bye.